What it's do? Oh, we back in the building, man. You with your boy Elo on Sip This Coffee with your boy on a special edition. I got my man Ronaldo here with me. Ronaldo, tell the people about you, man.
Hey, what's up, man? Ronaldo, born in Jamaica, raised in Fort Pierce, and left the city when I was 18 years old. Did 15 years in the Marine Corps, and now I'm living in California, selling real estate and doing some home loans and living life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get to it then, man. Let's talk about it, man. You said went to the Marines at 18.
Yeah,
So how long after graduation? Because if my memory begs me, you was gone within 2-3 weeks after the graduation.
it was faster. I actually graduated like that first week, and I was gone like that weekend. So like I
Yeah,
think the graduation was like on a Friday, and I left like Sunday, and just got up out of there.
yeah, that was a smart move.
Yeah, it was time.
Okay, so what made you decide the Marines back then? What was the urgency and everything? Why did you want to go to the Marines so fast?
I'm gonna be honest. Funny story, right? I originally was gonna join the Navy. Like in high school when you do those little books saying where will you be in like 20 years, I put serving in the U.S. Navy,
Oh,
and
man,
then I remember I went to go see the recruiter one time, and the other recruiters was joking because he went to Miami, and they left his car on bricks. Like he had this Avalanche on 26s, and the boys left it on bricks. And then I was like walking back home, and the Marine recruiter ran up to me and stuff, right? And I talked to him, and I was dodging them like a plague. And one day they came knocking on my door, and I'm like trying to sneak out the back door in the apartments where we live at, the back
right,
door.
right, right.
And the recruiter was Jamaican, and he like switched it up and started talking patois to my mom. And then as soon as my mom found out he was Jamaican, it's kind of a done deal for me. But rest in peace to my actual recruiter, LeBron Manning. He passed away last year from pancreatic cancer. But yeah,
Oh man, rest in peace to him.
but but it was probably the best decision I ever made, man. Like joining the Marine Corps. If I had to go back tenfold, I'd do it all over again. And I'll bring a lot of my homies with me, to be completely honest.
Right. Hey, let's let him know. Hey, I almost made it there with you. I
Yeah,
almost made it there with you, but life took a different spin at the same pinnacle point. One thing I always remember about you getting ready to go is that time we was in traffic and I got to arguing with the guy that was a Marine, and you was like, "Man, do you know who that was?" And you was like, he was like a gunny or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, nah, I didn't know who he was, but I was just coming to see you, and yeah,
uh,
that was a good
that,
situation there, man.
that's because I was young and I didn't understand. Like, at the end of the day, they still people, man. And hey, man, it don't matter what kind of people you are. You can get punched in the face. You can be a
Oh,
gunny.
most
You
definitely.
can, you can be in the streets. You can still get
Yes,
punched in the face.
yes,
You
sir.
know.
Yes, sir. So, man, let's talk about it. The 15 years you was in the Marines, man. What like highlights, man? What was some of your favorite parts of being a Marine?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like the overall, like I'll say the brotherhood, right? Like, cause being in it, you get to meet some dope people. Like speaking of that, like my homeboy, like I went to boot camp, but he's like on the couch right now watching TV, about to watch a draft
Yeah.
that I went to boot camp with, and my other homie, he lives like literally next door. I'm like looking at his house right now out the window from my house. The people, man, I got to do some cool stuff, like deployments or like whatever. Like I wasn't no like gunslinger, so I'm not gonna claim that. Like a lot of dudes gonna fake claim like if there's some super war fighter. That wasn't me, man. I was a support guy. But
Right.
just in general, man, like you have to grow up fast, right? Maturity, because you get promoted. Like if you do what you're supposed to do, you get promoted fast, and then you have people underneath you, so you kind of just have to adjust, man, and just adjusting with it, kind of like help you mature a little bit. Man, I was a jokester, man. I was an immature little kid, but the Marine Corps made
Right.
me grow up fast. Like even the 3 months after I got back, I was a different person
Right. Right.
after I got back from boot camp, and it just gradually changed, right? Like and I learned different things like how to manage money properly. There's so much stuff, and I'm not saying that that's something that they give you, but you have to go seek it out too.
Right.
But yeah, I think that, man. But I did have some cool stuff like being like the drone instructor was dope, man.
I remember that.
Yeah, Okinawa was dope. Going to Oki and seeing different culture and stuff like that. Like, fortunately, I didn't get to deploy as much as other Marines, but my experience while in there, man, it set me up for success, right? Like with the real estate stuff that I do now,
Right.
just like being able to say I'm retired and I get a check from Uncle Sam on the first of every month is a blessing, right? Like, I'm having some personal situation right now that I won't disclose, but
Right.
knowing that I don't have to get up and go to work every day, and my bills are paid because of what I did for 15 years is a blessing, and it gives you a level of security. So, I was talking to somebody last week saying that, hey, I don't know how a regular person do it because I this is hard. So I can't imagine someone that has to deal with what I'm going through right now, and still
Right.
having to work to provide for their family. It's hard, man. I appreciate the military a lot, man. And I'll be honest, if there's any young kids that don't know what they want to do in life, it's a good path, man. Do 4 years, bro. It'll change your life. I promise. And I'm no
Right.
recruiter, man. So, I for a living, I try to get them to quit. So that's what I did while I was on the Marine. Anyone that joined, I try to get them to quit. And my
Mm-hmm.
homeboy that's on the couch, he used to recruit them, but I try to get some of his kids to quit that he sent me.
Oh yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that's, man, the overall experience, man. I'll say the brotherhood, man. Like I got some of my closest homies. They're just as close to me as you and TK are to me. Like growing up, like I've been
Right.
kicking with this dude. Next in June, it'll be 18 years.
Right. Right. That's a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah. So within within your answer just then, you answer another one of my bullets. I was gonna ask you, would you suggest? I actually wrote it down and I said, I got to read it exactly because you answered it perfectly. I said words for a young man that's confused on the future right now. What would you say to him? And you basically just answered that for me
yeah,
there. Within that.
yeah. And let me add this. I'll say this, man. The Marine Corps was my decision because it fit my personality, right? I was a little high strung, that's just me. Like, I was a little crazy at times as a kid,
Right.
right? So it fit me. It would fit
Right.
you because of who we are, right?
Right.
But all four military branches are just as good, man. Like the Army, Navy, you have to find what fits your personality. And the Marine Corps just kind of fit the structure of what I needed and I was looking for in life. But some
Right.
people are already structured, and it's like, all right, go join the Navy, go join the Air Force, so go join the Army. It just really depends on what you want to do. Every branch have different opportunities.
Right.
So, like, I'm not gonna dog other branches like other people do. Is the Marine Corps the best, in my opinion? Of course, I'm
Oh
always say
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
But it's just that's a natural thing, right?
So was you always into the Marines to the point where you would suggest it for another person, or did you gain this love over the time?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Once I joined the DEP program, like when I'll tell you when I joined the DEP program, probably like 2 weeks after Cliff died
Okay.
in
But yeah,
2006.
we was
Remember he
young.
died, yeah, in like November, December,
Definitely. It was
yeah.
December
So
time. Yeah.
yeah, and then I joined like 2 weeks after that because he was my road dog. We was everywhere together. And
Definitely.
after I was just like, man, I got to get up out of here. And I depped in. But after I depped in, bro, like I bought into and that's the issue. A lot of guys don't buy into it, man, and they get in there and they struggle. But I bought
Right.
into it, man, like, cause it's not hard, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like the military is a regular job, bro. Like outside of the deployments, you wake up, you work out in the morning, you go to work, you're off by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You get the weekends off unless you have duty, but we get federal holidays off. We get everything off, so it's really just how you take it, man. But I bought in right away, man, and I was just like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, and I'm trying to get promoted as fast as possible because at the end of the day, I'm trying to make more money and seek out opportunities, right?
Right. Right.
So
Definitely.
yeah,
So what? How far did you get promoted? It ain't like I know all the rankings or anything, but
I made it to E7, a gunnery sergeant, before I retired. I did what's called I'm not. I didn't do a standard route, right? I did what's called an early retirement to just because of a family situation. So I got to retire about 5 years early, but I made it to E7 gunnery sergeant, which, honestly is the best rank in the Marine Corps. There's two ranks, sergeants and gunnery sergeant. If you can hit those, then you kind of hit a pinnacle, right? Like, those are the ones that they say you want to be. No one messes with gunnies, man. Like, they just...
Right.
Gunnies just do gunny things. Like, where Gunny Wilson at? Doing gunny things. That's where he's at.
Oh, yeah. That boy Ronaldo Vincent Payne in the building, y'all. Huh? Yeah, man. So, man, let's kick it to the world that you're living in now, post retirement. You're living in the world of actually a couple weeks ago, I was able to hear a conversation, and you kicked those numbers off so quick. TK hit you up about a house. You said the number, you're like, 400,000? Man, you're going to need to have this amount of money coming in to pay for this mortgage, this and that and that. So let's talk about how deep you are right now with this real estate.
So I'll say this, man. Like, as a kid, right, I didn't like school, but I was always good at math, right?
Right.
The only subject I honestly didn't like was band because I got beat up when I was in the 6th grade. I ain't going to say whose fault it was, but...
No, don't do that.
I was a brand new kid to the school. I was probably there for 2 weeks, and somebody threw a chair at me, and I threw the chair back at the wrong person, and the wrong person beat me up when I was in 6th grade, and I'm gonna publicly say it, but it is what it is.
Hey, and I'm gonna publicly apologize again. I'm sorry, bro. Bro. My fault.
Yeah. And then like 2 years later, we become like the best friends. Like we kicked it all through high school.
True story.
But it is what it is. At that time, it was just like, man, why you threw the chair at me, man? I was at the school for 2 weeks, and I got suspended for 10 days.
And did I know you had been there only 2 weeks? Nope, I did not know that.
Yeah, brand new, man, because I was originally at Forest Grove.
Right.
Yeah, so, but
yeah, man.
But as far as the real estate thing now, so I'm a licensed loan officer. So I'm licensed in California, Florida. I'm working on, but I can help people in like 19 states. So Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, all that DMV area, Ohio, Texas, Tennessee, Washington. So we can do loans in all those states, and we do everything from VA, FHA, conventional, DSCR for investors. We do HELOCs, home equity line of credit. We have different down payment assistance programs. Just really depends. And then I'm also a licensed realtor here in California with a team of, we have a team of like 9 realtors that's on my team out here. And we're just, kicking it, man. The market's a little crazy right now because I ain't going to say, but somebody's words change the market. I don't like to speak on politics that much, but whatever comes out of his mouth kind of determine what's going on in the world right now. So it's making everything a little confusing at times.
Some people gonna be watching. They're gonna be like, "It's them terrorists. It was them terrorists. Nigga, the terrorists is doing it to everybody." Yeah. But okay, when you say that there, because some people here, you a loan officer, they might call your phone tomorrow and hit you up for a loan. So you loans are strictly for the homes, right?
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm not doing no car loans, no payday loans. Like
right.
I help you buy a house, man. Like, and the coolest thing is, man, we can do anything, right? Like, for instance, like in your industry where you're a barber, right? A lot of your income is either cash but there's no W-2 income. So with you have to get financed through special programs like DSCR, or we can do bank statement loans where we just look at your bank statements over the last 12 to 24 months and qualify you that way too. Because a lot of times, whenever, with write-offs and stuff like that, you end up claiming a lot less than you make. So it's like, you won't qualify with what you're claiming because of write-offs. But really, I make this before taxes. So a W-2 employee, when we qualify them, we're qualifying them based on their pre-tax income. So why can't we qualify a bank statement person on their pre-tax income as well?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you within that answer, we was on to another question. So a lot of people on the show that watches, they in the development stages, right? So if I was a young person and in my future I want a home, but I'm not in the proper steps right now, what is some of the first couple steps that I should be taking to start looking for a home, to be qualified to get a home?
I'm gonna be honest. The first thing is right. So I'll tell you the big things that we're looking for. We're looking for consistent work history. So we need like 2 years of work history consistently in the same or similar industry, right? Like let's say, you're working at Toyota and you move to Chevy because they pay better. Like that would work, right?
Right.
Or you're working at a detention center and you move to the
jail.
Rock Road or the jail or whatever, right? It's the same kind of industry, so it's a little bit easier. So you want 2 years work history, solid credit. Anything above 600 is we can make work, right? And usually to get a standard loan, you want about 3.5% of whatever the purchase price is. So on a $400,000 loan, you want $15,000 saved up. And then there's also the additional closing costs, but that can be negotiated. And like if you hit me up, I have a program that'll give you that 13 of that 15. I got you.
Oh yeah.
So, but just little stuff like that, man. But it's not as hard, man. Like it's just a lack of education. Like we don't realize because a lot of times, like I remember in high school, bro. Like I was working at Blue Beacon, like 35, 40 hours a week in high school, and I was there for 3 years before I left.
You could have got you a home here.
I could have got my home by the time I was 19, as long as I would have saved the money for the down payment. But I wasn't educated, and a lot of us aren't, right? It's not
right.
It's not. Sometimes I used to like go back and be like, man, why did my mom teach me this? It's because one, she wasn't there either, but now she's educated and she understands. So it's a lot of people are gatekeepers of knowledge, man, and I don't know.
Correct.
Why. It's like if I tell you something that doesn't gonna hurt, it's not gonna hurt me to teach you. It's gonna, I'm gonna see you win, and then we both win. So
right. But, a lot of people say that money is the root to all evil. I always say the lack of knowledge is the root to all evil. Because if you don't know, you do stuff that you don't have no knowledge of what the consequences is, or you won't do things that you should be doing to gain good consequences.
Exactly. I completely agree. And that's the big one, right? It's not money is the root. Money is the root of all evil. It's knowledge.
It's the lack of knowledge, correct.
Lack of knowledge and understanding on how to use your money properly, right?
Correct.
There's so much I know now that I'm telling you, man, if 10 years ago, we'd all be in a different space right now.
All right.
But we got the next 10 years to put ourselves in a different space.
Correct.
It's just applying.
Correct. I love that mindset. So let me ask you this here. How important is credit in the process?
Credit's extremely important, right? Because that's just it's just your trust, right? It's like I can't trust you to pay for a $500 credit card. How am I going to trust you to pay for a $200,000-$300,000 loan?
Correct.
So it's a trust thing, and I think the biggest one, like you really don't want, like if you're getting ready to buy a home, you just don't want to have any late payments in the last 12 months.
Right.
And if you do, like it has to be like you have to have a valid justification, right? It's like I was in the hospital, I couldn't work, kind of situation.
Right.
But people just be missing payments just because they just forget and they're not managing everything properly. It's like. You can go on what's called annualcreditreport.com and get a free credit report every year and just use that. And you can go down and be like, all right, all this stuff is on my credit and make sure I just follow that. And you can get all 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion on annualcreditreport.com every year for free. Or buy something as simple as like Credit Karma. It's like a $15 membership, but it's worth it for your future. I use a thing called Rocket Money. It's like a $7.99 a month.
You see that commercial?
Yeah, but Rocket Money is actually legit, right? So you link your bank account, all your credit cards, everything to it, and at the end of the month, it goes back, and you look at it, and you like, I'm stupid. Like you realize, not stupid, but like I'm wasteful. Like you done spent $800 on fast food this month.
Right.
It's like. You didn't, and it because no one noticed it. I'm gonna go to the gas station. I'm gonna go to the corner store. I'm gonna buy this little thing. It's only $4. $4 here, $4 there. Next thing you know, if you go back and look, if you go there 3 times a day, you done spent $16, $20 with taxes and everything, and you're doing that 4 or 5 times a week because you're at work. That's $100 right there a week. That's $400 a month you done spent buying snacks.
Right.
So it's just, just being smarter, man.
So all in all, that's the best advice for a guy or anybody who's trying to build themselves up to get to getting a home.
Yeah, that's really it, man. Just figuring out how to manage your money and understand that you have wasteful spending. I think a lot of times there's like I've seen people that make like $20,000 a month that can't afford a $2,000 a month mortgage because their spending is so bad.
Right.
Like between like, you know, and I get it, you make the money, right? So you got expensive cars, but like when you look at their bank account, it's like they're eating out at fancy restaurants like every night. It's like, oh, this bill 400, this bill. It's like, man, you're wasting all your money that you're making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. What?
Maxing out credit cards.
And a lot of people do that a lot.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If I was to say, let's kick in gear and have a little more advanced terminology conversation into real estate, where we'll go with this?
It really depends on what you're looking for, right? Are you looking for to be a regular homeowner? Like, let's say you're trying to buy a home, or you're trying to go to the next level of like investment, right? Because then that's a whole different conversation of trying to find the right properties. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I've been looking, right? Like I've been looking at Fort Pierce, like in like the Sunland, everywhere past on 25th past Avenue D.
Right.
Headed more, I guess, what is that, more north, like towards to like where the projects is, where CA Moore, like Lincoln
Right.
Park, all that area, man. There's so many gold mines over there, right?
Oh yes, sir.
It's a lot of gold mines that you can get in on, right? And gentrification. Yeah. So, and I think the biggest one is I got to say, I'm gonna be completely transparent, right? Like where we're from, man, it's not like stars and rainbows, right? So there is some Section 8 is big over there, right?
Big time.
But everyone treats Section 8 like if it's like this bad thing, right?
Right.
Not every person that's on Section 8 is a bad person or is trying to mess up the system, right? But
right.
if you treat somebody like trash, then they're going to treat your stuff like trash. But if you buy a house, you fix it up, you make it nice, and you take care of the person that's in there, 9 out of 10 times they're going to return the favor because they appreciate what you're doing. So like I see people that run Section 8 housing here, and their tenants are amazing.
Right.
And they're not concerned about the money because
Section 8 sending it. Correct.
Section 8 getting them. So, and that's a really big one right now, right? Because if you look at it, Section 8, let's say someone has a $2,000 Section 8 waiver, right? And
right.
You're renting your house out for $2,200. Your mortgage might be $1,600, so you're trying to cash flow 6%. It's really about cap rates and stuff like that. So numbers kind of play a part in it. Like it's like, how much can I cash flow off of this property? I think the big thing is, man, everyone's looking for that big payday. Like, oh, I need to make like a $50,000. I'm like, nah, man, you need to get you 15 houses that pay you $500 a piece. That's gonna get you $7,500 a month. That's what you're looking for. Yeah.
Right.
And now you're just chilling. Like every month that's deposited, so you can continue spin the cycle. And especially if the money is coming from the government, then it's even better.
Right.
Because once you get in something like that, you can do what's called a portfolio loan. You put it all in one place, and it's easy. So that's really the big one, man. I'd say start looking into investing. But I think if you don't have a house, if you're young, not in our situation, right? Like if you're young, you don't have kids, it's maybe you and your homeboy save up some money, go find you a nice duplex, buy the duplex, live in one, rent out the other, and you guys are splitting a bill, and eventually turn the full thing into a rental and continue to, flip. A lot of people are talking about oh, you can cash out refi. I'm gonna be honest, man, the market is so volatile right now. I don't even want to give that advice because I don't know.
Right.
Right. Like my house right now, I can do a cash out refi on, but I also bought it 6 years ago. But on the other spectrum, me buying a house, the market's kind of strange right now. So you have to buy it with the understanding that the money that you're making now is good enough.
Right.
But there's a lot of good flips and stuff like that that you can find in for a period. So you can decide to keep them, stuff like that. There's real estate is so vast, man. There's like you can wholesale. I don't wholesale. I understand it, but I'm not. That's just not my thing. You can do flips, and doing flips is just finding one good deal can set your trajectory forever, right? Because realistically, let's say you find a house that you're able to get for $100,000, right? Or let's say $100,000. Most investors want you to put some skin in the game, so they want you to bring in at least 25%, which is $25,000. So if you find a house that's $100,000, it's going to cost $75,000 to repair it, but the after repair value on that house is $300,000. There's about $125,000 profit margin. And you can get into that house with only $25,000 out of pocket because they have what's called hard money lenders that will.
You, I,
Yeah. But the what I was saying was so let's say we're at $300,000, right, for the after repair value. You can get in there with $25,000, and then you have hard money lenders, private lenders that will fund you the 75% to purchase it, and they'll
right.
also fund 100% of the renovation, and you just have to pay them back a little bit of the profit afterwards, and after that you just turn and burn afterwards. Most investors want you to, like, if you're a brand new guy, they want you to bring in like 25 to 30%, but as you continue to do more deals, they're like, oh, they'll take 20, they'll take 15%, some will take 10 if you're a trustworthy investor, because they know that they're gonna get a better return. So that's just really the big one.
Right.
So that's what I would if I can go back to 2009. That's what I would be like, getting in our little circle and be like, hey man, this is what we need to do. Like, each of us need to save about $4,000 a piece.
Yes.
Start burning and turning, man, because I see a lot of opportunities there, man. Even last time I was there was a house. There's like a building across from the Rice Hut.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man, I was talking to somebody that was looking at buying that.
But you know what's crazy? If we would have been doing that in 2009 in this area, right now the value of everything would be so crazy. It would be mind blowing, to be honest with you, because they've turned half of that stuff into waterfront property with all the yachts and all that good stuff coming in down here. Yeah. Well, they like 5 now. Correct.
Yeah. Just imagine if you'd have bought then, and it's just the lack of education that we was receiving, man. Because at the end of the day, man, like I was watching a video, man. School's gonna teach you to be a worker, right? You go there for 8 hours, then you go home. You go 5 days a week, so you're in school for 40 hours, just like you had a job for 40 hours. And there's nothing wrong with school, because I think there's very valuable lessons that you're gonna learn in school. I kind of wish I'd have paid attention a little bit more in Miss Lewis Williams' class for English or something. But, but there's the other side of it, that now in modern day, man, these kids have it all at their fingertips, man. YouTube teaches you so much to go look at, man. There's so many great content creators to follow, man. And like, we got kids, bro. Like, so like, even with my son, I'm like, bro, you're a basketball player. You should be on YouTube, like, watching these dudes that's teaching you how to get better, understanding how your pace works, understanding it's like a lot of self-education, and I don't know, that drive isn't there, man. Like, think about if what you do for Zach, you had when you was in the 8th grade, where you'd be right now.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because you was a dog back then, so.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I tell him that all the time, man. And what's funny is I just my last cut of the day, the dad, he spent the whole time telling the son, he said, yeah, but you need to fall in love with working hard. You need to fall in love with hard work. You're not working out on your own right now. And I was like, that's crazy how many kids is in the same age group and they say the same thing. So it's like, yeah, hopefully the light go off for those kids one day.
Yeah, I hope so. I was talking to all my homies last night, man, about it, because, like, they always clown on me because of how busy my kids are, man. Like RJ was with this morning at 7:30. He was with the trainer, and he got practice tonight and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like, like, bro, he's on spring break. I was like, you trained at 7:30. You got practice tonight at 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a whole, 11 hours you could have worked out, did something, but he's in his room sleeping and everything.
See, but this the thing though, Ronaldo. We was different though. We would literally bike to each other's houses. None of us stayed directly close to each other. We would bike to each other's house, bike to the court, bike back home, probably just to get something to drink, and bike back to the court again. Be there until we had to be back home. So we was always working. You know what I'm saying? It was a different timing.
Yeah, it was crazy because the other day he was like, "Dad, can you take me to LA Fitness?" I'm like, "Bro, just ride your bike."
Yeah. He probably looked at you like, "What? Ride the bike?"
It's 2 miles away, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, we was definitely doing about 10 miles a day on the bike when we was growing up. These kids couldn't even think about that.
2 miles away, there's a basketball court in the neighborhood. Like,
oh yeah.
Come on, man, get away from me, man.
Hey, for real. Hey, let me pop one more of these real estate questions to you, man. We've been juicing out really good right now. Let me ask you a question. I see it a lot on social media and stuff. This digital real estate world. What is that? What are we talking about when we hear about digital real estate? You know about this?
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. I see it too. I have no idea what it is. Like, I've seen it, but it hasn't drawn my interest where the people that I surround myself with have spoken about, right? So, maybe it's something I should look into because, look at Bitcoin right now, right?
Yeah.
So, but I haven't looked into digital real estate. That's a new one. I'm actually going to chat GPT that one later on today.
Oh yeah. Well, when you do find out, we'll get on here and chop it up with the Sipp These Coffee crowd out here and let them know what we learned.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, that one is kind of crazy. Yeah, digital real estate. Man. Let me write that down.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, man, I always come across it. I see a couple of the guys that I follow. They speak on it a lot, and I was like, digital real estate sounds so weird to me. Real estate is, the outdoor grass. How we gonna get that digital? So if it's something I gotta learn, man. Okay. What do you say?
Okay, so digital real estate it's just a term that's being used, right? So from what I'm seeing right now, it's just like for instance, if I can buy the funniest one, right? Here's digital real estate. Remember when Donald Trump and Joe Biden was running for presidents in 2019? JoeBiden.com expired. So Donald Trump's team bought it.
Right.
So they own JoeBiden.com. So anyone that typed in JoeBiden.com
with the Trump
he redirected it to Donald Trump's website.
Right.
Real estate. So, and if he wanted to buy JoeBiden.com back, he's going to sell it to him for like $1 million, and that's what they're doing. But you have to just get lucky with that part with digital real estate, in my opinion.
Right.
You might get lucky, get MiamiHeat.com, and it's like,
yeah.
So, but that's a gamble, in my opinion. Yeah.
Right, so we got to keep looking into that digital real estate, man. Before we get up out of here, man, let me know, is there anything else you want to leave the people with, man? It's been an amazing episode here.
I'll be honest, man. If you think about, like, just in general, if you think about buying a house, just go ahead and pull the trigger. Talk to a loan officer. You don't have to talk to me. Like, talk to someone you trust. And just have them run the numbers, because you might think a lot of times people think they can't do it until someone tells them yes they can. So sit down with somebody, let them run the numbers, and worst cases they can come up with a plan for you to be able to get to that point. Like if you say, hey, that's a goal, you have to take the steps to achieve it, right? Because like if you set a goal without a end date, right? That's just a dream.
Just a dream.
You get to set an end date and take action on it, man. But outside of that, man, I'm always here, man, to hit me up. Like, I stay on social media, but
I was about to say, if they wanted to hit you up, Mr. Loan Officer, how could they get in touch with you?
Just hit me, Ronaldo Wilson. I think it's Ronaldo Wilson Realtor.
Okay.
On Instagram. That might be wrong. I changed it a while ago. Oh yeah, Ronaldo Wilson 89 on Instagram. Just hit me up if you have any questions whatsoever. Or they can send me an email, Ronaldo at oraingroup.org.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm here, man. I do got a question for you, man, because
Talk to me.
you know, I see what Zach's doing out there, man.
Oh
How
yeah.
is the how's the this a little off script, but how's that football scene out there for the youth?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's growing. We just got lucky. Fort Pierce Westwood just got a whole new coaching staff, and it's with from they got a bunch of ex Fort Pierce Westwood alumni that played in the NFL. Is not a coach there. We got Ladarius Van. We getting Yamon Figures. Probably Willie Boston gonna be out there coaching with them. The football scene is growing to a high level. A lot of these kids are wanted by all the major Power Fives out here. Westwood has almost 10 kids that's wanted by all of the Power Fives. So it's looking beautiful around here right now.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. And is that holdback thing a big thing out there? That's
You so I hear that talk a lot, in which what I'm seeing a lot is a reclassification. Like a lot of these kids, like Miami Hurricanes, they got two kids right now. Malachi Tony, he reclassified, and he's supposed to still be, I think, a junior this year or something like that. But he's on campus right now. He's at the University of Miami. He graduated, so a lot of them is actually going up, and I don't understand that.
yeah. So like speed of recovery. Gilbert Arenas' son just did it, and he actually just got in a car accident
Okay,
today.
I said my wife just told me that. I was like, whoa,
Yeah, yeah. So he reclassed back up. Cooper Flag reclassed back up, but for a lot of kids, reclassifying in like the eighth grade and repeating the eighth grade kind of works out in your favor, right?
oh definitely,
If it's done properly. So a lot of times people are reclassifying so that way you're going into ninth grade older, but you have to take that one reclass year and actually
really
and
put forward.
put forth your effort and improve on your craft, right? Like you should be going in there. You should be going in there as a brand new freshman playing varsity.
Right,
Like yeah, because like
definitely.
I have a buddy. His son reclassed. He just got his like sixth offer. He's a freshman right now. He's got 6 or 7 offers. And he's going to be the starting quarterback next year because he went to the school he went to as a freshman was like a powerhouse. So it's like he's still a freshman, big dog, and we got
Yeah, yeah.
so. But he just transferred to a different school, and he's going to be the starting quarterback there because a lot of times I think they get this stack squad effect, right? They don't want to grow homegrown. Like I'll give the best example. Bronny James didn't look so good in high school because of uh, the team that he was on,
Right.
but because that team was stacked. But Elijah Arenas looked amazing because he played for a low level school and he still took them there. So a lot of times like kids need to stop chasing the schools and just do what they can where they at. And if the school can't do it, then you need to leave, but you need to give it a chance. And
Correct.
because if you go there and they believe in you, then the coaches don't have no chance other than quit and leave and bring somebody in that's going to do the job, or they're going to roll with you and push you to get to the next level. Because they're
And see,
superstars.
no, go
Football
ahead.
players, they're superstars
Definitely.
for 4 years. One of the best is going to play for the Chargers here in LA.
Oh yeah, we actually got a lot of them in the league right now. We got one of them that's in the draft. The draft starts tonight at 8 o'clock. We got what's his name? Edmonds Gibbert Edmonds. He plays for University of South Carolina, defensive end. So like every year we putting something out into the league. The thing we dealing with is what you just said. They chasing schools around here. The first thing anybody from middle school age group in this area go to talking about is Vero Beach. And it's like, yeah, but if we keep all our talent here in Fort Pierce at one school, man, I don't think we could lose.
And it's crazy. That's what makes Texas so powerful.
Right.
Because their school is like that one school. Like for instance, Fort Pierce got LPA, which LPA doesn't even count, right? But
Right. No
Fort Pierce
football
only
team.
got I wouldn't even count it as a regular school, but we got Westwood and we only got Central, right? those are only two high schools in
No,
like the Fort Pierce area.
man, they got Westwood Central, John Carroll, and then all these other schools are in Port St. Lucie, but they're our area though. All the Fort Pierce kids go to Centennial. All the Fort Pierce kids go to PSL. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what if these kids stayed here in Fort Pierce instead of going to between all these counties?
I remember that because I remember when I was in high school, all the Centennial, I think it's Centennial and
Oh yeah,
PSL was beating like Westwood and
right.
Central, but 75% of the roster was
With Fort Pierce.
kids from Sunland,
Yep.
So it's
13th,
like,
the projects, all the kids that play football on 13th Street, Pop Warner Field, all goes to play football elsewhere. It's like, man, we keep it here, we win the state championships.
yeah. I guarantee it if they just, but it's going to take the coaches to get out there to look into that.
The funniest thing for me is they all go to Vero, and Vero hasn't won a state champ. The school with the most recent state championship in this area is John Carroll in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, they don't know what they're doing.
And they not doing, they wasn't doing it right then.
Yeah. That all they doing is recruiting all the kids from Westwood and Central too.
So yeah, I think that's going to be the honest school. Like the schools have to know what their strong suit are, man. Like Westwood might be the powerhouse for football. Central might be the powerhouse for basketball. If you're a basketball kid, go to Central. You're a football kid, go.
Right now Centennial got it.
If you're a track and field kid, go to Lincoln Park. Because I remember back then, Lincoln Park was killing everybody with like, especially that '04 class when my sister graduated from with the Franklins, all them dudes.
Yeah.
I think they won state that year. So
yeah, them boys had a team.
They deal with the same thing here, man. We got a lot of kids here that like live here in Menifee that's going to other schools just to, like I know one kid that's about to drive an hour and a half to school every day to LA to play for a school out there, and I'm like, their school's here just as good.
Right.
But the scene out here is kind of crazy, man. Like the basketball, football, like seeing some of these kids at like 9, 10 years old. They got some monsters. They got a kid here that's probably like one of the top running backs in the country.
Right.
And 10 years old.
Man.
I got
to check him out.
In Maryland. I'll send you Instagram. His son, 6, 7 years old, man, running over. Like he's gonna play up next year because the 7-year-olds can't keep up.
He going crazy.
Yeah, but this kid wants it, right? And I was talking to him about it. His son just wants it, and that's the thing, man. Kids have to want it because like he walks in the house from work, and his son is like, "Dad, let's go train."
Right.
Kind of situation. It's like every day. So it has to be a drive, man. It is something you can't teach.
Right.
If somebody wants it, they're going to go get it, and and when you have a supporting cast, it's even easier, right? Because I know
Definitely.
Zach is like, "Hey, Dad, let's go outside and run some drills."
We out there.
in a minute, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But before we go, I know RJ hooping over there. What he doing? Is it AAU? Is he at the high school level right now? What we doing?
So they're in AAU season right now. Our high school season is from like November to February.
Okay.
So they lost this year in the first round, but so he's playing AAU in for Team OGP here in Corona.
Okay.
And then all of June he'll be going to like, I'm trying to get him in camps, but now it's just like all about training and reps right now. Just trying to get him better to control pace, get a little better IQ, and just do whatever he needs to improve to play varsity next year. He's aggressive on defense, but he needs to learn. Now it's like the next level is learning the game of basketball. Like we can go out there and play, but we don't really know basketball.
Yeah, the IQ of it.
Yeah, because we didn't play basketball. Like
Right.
So now we're trying to get him to learn that part. It's like, and that's just something I can't teach. So just gotta hold his coaches accountable to teach him that part. But
Definitely.
the skills is developing, man. He's like 5'11" right now.
Mm-hmm.
And hoping he hit a growth spurt this summer, and if not, man, we just got to make him faster.
Yeah.
More explosive. But
Definitely.
Yeah, so definitely, man. I love to see it, man. Like it's crazy. I didn't think we was gonna have kids.
I
That's
know.
early. You know, it's funny, and I believe in this tenfold.
What that?
You remember this last thing? I'll let you go, man. Remember when your mom got married,
Uh-huh.
and they do the little Mr. Singletary. He does the little thing where they take the what's it called it off the bride's
The
legs,
garner, yeah.
the garter, and throw it in the air, right?
All right.
And they say whoever catches it is the next person to get married.
Right.
I caught it at your mom's wedding, and I was the first one to get married.
Oh, snap. Nah, for real?
Yeah. And ever
You
since
wait till
then,
they hear that story.
I believe in that, like, fully. And I'm like, that is true, bro. Because I ended up getting married like 2 years, because they got married when we were juniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got married like 2 years later.
You really did. You really did.
I got married at 19 years old. It's that was crazy. I was like, damn, I really caught that.
Yeah.
And I remember all y'all was like, no, you're not supposed to catch it. Everybody else moved out the way, and
Slap it down.
I stood there and caught it.
He over here going Randy Moss and stuff. We trying to slap it down. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a fun time, man. But I'm gonna let
Definitely.
you get up out of here, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. Tell your moms and family I said hello.
Man, I would do that, man. You do the same, man. And we will have you back on soon, man, because we're going to have some more real estate questions. I know people going to send in some questions to me, and I'm going to have you come answer it, because if I answer some real estate questions, they're going to be led wrong. I can promise you that. But, man, it's been a peaceful and great episode on here, having you with here, man. It's been near to my heart to have you on here, man. So, hey, like we do and how we say it to everybody out there, man, you put a smile on your face so you can put a smile on somebody else's face, and we can make the community better. So, with that said, man, one finger, two finger, peace.